Good afternoon, students. This is Professor Estrada with your Week 7 and 8 video lecture. This is the last video lecture for the course, so I'm going to make sure that I review all things within the folders and or the sections for you. First and foremost, I start off on the home page. That way we can see where we need to begin the first steps of navigating the course. Looking at any recap announcements on this side, I'm about to actually write out the week 6 class recap and the week 5 late work reminder. As you can see, I'm actually recording this a couple of days before the week 7 week starts, so it's easy for me to navigate this and you can open up as early as possible. Right side tab has always been there for you. It just shows you my information. Please make sure that you are contacting me through your student account to my email. And then again, just as a review, as I've been stating within the video lectures, while we have our work to do and the calendar modules, they do say a specific due date. Mind you, always be aware of the due date that is stated in the syllabus, because oftentimes this allows you the 4 extra days that you are given, but the syllabus will always remind you of the specific due date. So you can always turn it in Sunday at 11:59, or you can wait until the next day, but I just deduct points per each day. So let's get started. Again, I am recording this a little bit early, but I'm going to go ahead and open up the week 7, part 1 and part 2 folder, and the week 8 folder. That way you have all the contents in those last 2 folders in their entirety so that you can complete and work on. And as the little emoji right here appears, this will say that it's hidden from students, but do not worry, here in a few minutes it will be available for you as you're able to read the announcements. So this is in the folder for today. We have the week 7 day 1 lecture slides. We have the cumulative final exam. You will be able to open this and access it soon. The extra credit opportunity number 3, it says to complete this for a chance to earn up to 8 points on your essay or the final. This also counts for the annotated bibliography as well. So the essay or the annotated bibliography, which are separate assignments, and the final exam. So if you complete this, the lowest of those 3 grades, I will give you those 8 points. The content due date for the extra credit opportunity is May 10th, only because the final exam may have a different due date and or other things. So the cumulative online final exam will open. I'm actually going to open it up early. So today is basically, it states that today's April 30th, but I will open it up even sooner. So this will change and I will reflect those due dates. So it technically will open up today, April 30th, and it will close May 10th. This just means that you'll be given an extra amount of days to complete. I will not be able to reopen past that because it's also online. Make sure that you use 2 attempts for the high score. I have yet to go back in and grade any manual responses, but the true, false, and the multiple choice are usually stated and graded within the computer system. And then I just put right here, just so that you can see it in all the folders, the annotated bibliography and the essay are due Monday 11th at 11:59, so you still have the remaining day to continue to turn in. It says failure to not turn in after that date and time will result in 30 points off. However, failure to not turn in anything at all per this assignment by Tuesday, May 12th at 4 p.m. will result in 0. So between that nighttime, midnight, and the next day, 4 p.m., you can still turn it in late through the module. I will not accept submissions past Tuesday, May 12th at 4 p.m. as my grading book will close. Do not wait until that time to submit work. This essay will need to be turned in the week 8 online folder. You'll be uploading it within its modules. I will not accept it as a website or a web link or email attachment. It has to be sent within the module. At any point, if you have any questions or difficulty, please let me know so that we can figure out another way to turn that in. Your essay and peer review content for this essay will be as follows. You're going to be turning in just the essay, which contains a works cited page and the annotated bibliography. This essay will consist of a works cited page. Failure to not have a works cited page with the essay will deem the essay 0, and it will be given as unacceptable. So let's dive into the week 7, day 1 slides as if we were in class and we would be reviewing these. We're going to recap week 6, day 2, and I have a couple of important reminders. And because this is an online class, you're going to be introduced to peer review. So the peer review workshop that you would be doing would be for your own work, but it's always a good reminder to reflect peer review even in a sophomore level class as well as others. So here's a recap of week 6, day 2. You completed the academic integrity quiz. You completed the significance of a title writing assignment and the letters of World War II writing assignment. And those contents were due Sunday, May 3rd at 11:59. This is the important reminder number 1 for me. It says, as we come to the ending weeks of the semester, be reminded that I'm available for student conferences during my office hours or even online. Those stated right there are my in-person office hours. So students that I have in both online and in-person classes, they can always come and go as they please during those times. But because this is an online class, please reach out to me if you need an evening time available. Oftentimes, I may schedule out some time so that we can communicate if you need that. This is in the folder for today in the week 7, day 1 online content. You have your lecture slides. We have the extra credit opportunity number 3. You have the online final. And it just says it right here because I wasn't able to go back and update it, that it will be open today, April 30th, all the way through Sunday, May 10th. And the due date for anything within the folder, especially the extra credit, will be Sunday, May 10th. So here are a couple of slides on peer review and what that means towards the essay number 3, towards our analytical essay, the research paper. I'm so sorry about that. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. So what is peer review? Peer review is a step in the writing process that allows a student to clarify their own ideas in writing by receiving feedback and critique from others. Within any source, I believe that peer review is often overlooked. It is a part of the writing process that really allows you to reflect and collaborate with others, well, whether it be online or in person. But we're going to be looking at the purpose of peer review. By participating in peer review, whether your own individual workshop or with others, a student can learn how to read and analyze a work more critically. You learn how to strengthen your writings by considering suggestions made by others and implement that same feedback within your writing, and learn how to gather and respond to helpful but constructive feedback. And here are some helpful guidelines to peer review, whether it's your own, reading and reflecting your own work, or looking at others. As you'll be reading drafts from other classmates or your own, it's important to know that your suggestions are there to simply help. We are all readers and writers. Let us look at some helpful tips before we workshop. First of all, as you're reading your own draft or others, if the module allows us to, make sure before you even make the first comment, make sure to read the content thoroughly. Make sure to take time with each paragraph. Point out strengths as you read through the essay. Reminder, editorial comments should be constructive but helpful. We are all learners, readers, and writers. Secondly, be sure to make comments that are clear and concise. If you need to write out a comment, be sure to let the writer know where or what you are referring to. As a reader, don't be afraid to raise questions if something is vague or confusing. Your comment should be something the writer has not noticed before. And here are some guidelines when offering feedback to others. Ask the questions. Your job as a reviewer is to not fix the paper, but rather to help your classmate understand how the writing affects readers. Given this approach, it can be very helpful to ask questions just as you would face to face. You can ask questions about the claim. Questions that you could ask alongside the essay for the reader could be, how does the evidence support your claim or main idea? Why you're interested in this aspect or topic? Do you have any additional information that has not been included in the draft? And we can continue further with statements such as looking at questions about the evidence. If you think the writer needs more evidence, be sure to state that. If you would like to see some about a particular topic, this helps them elaborate. Don't leave a question unanswered if you think it's important. Questions about organization. If you think a certain paragraph or sentence doesn't belong, clarify that in a gentle way, but let the reader come to that on their own. We can also consider questions about sentence structure. How might you help a classmate look at a sentence differently? Offer similar sentences that may help them see something or work on their own. Remember, the goal is helpful critique. Questions about word choice. Ask why the writer chose a certain word if it doesn't seem strong enough in the essay. Be clear as to why it may seem odd or offer synonyms as options. Example, in this paragraph, why did you choose this word? Do you mean this other word instead? And whether we are looking at our own drafts or others, it's important to understand these steps. Okay, and this is my last reminder, the last page of the lecture slides. Your essay needs to be typed and ready to turn in by Monday, May 11th at 11:59. Failure to not turn on this day will result in automatic 30 points off. Failure to not turn in by Tuesday, May 12th will result in a 0. Upon completion, your essay will need to be turned in with your final essay, along with its works cited page and the annotated bibliography. Early submissions are always welcome. So the second that you complete this, you are more than welcome to turn in that essay in the Week 8 folder, because the Week 8 folder will now be available soon. So I'm going to go ahead and open up and show you what the final exam, its instructions look like, so that way you have them. It says this is your final exam, without showing you the questions. It's a collection of content from the entire semester. You're given 2 chances. Each attempt will allow you up to 3 hours each. Okay. Oh, I don't know what I did. I had to figure that out. Okay. Figure that out. Sorry. Going all the way down. And then we have the extra credit opportunity, number 3. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on that so that way you kind of get a gist of what it looks like. It says for extra credit number 3, I would like you to discuss the following. What is an assignment, lesson, lecture, or subject from a college course and its instructor this year that made an impact on you? What assignment caused you to think outside the box, acquire new skills, learn something that you still use even now, or something an instructor taught you that has helped you within the semester? Be sure to open up a brand new Word document for this. If it allows you a text box, you are more than welcome to do a text box. But I would like you to complete and answer those 2 questions within 5 to 7 sentences per topic. Just like any form of a class, whether an 8-week or internet or 16-week, discuss an item that has been meaningful to you and explore that. And then this says that the due date is Sunday, May 10th at 11:59. This will allow you up to 8 points between the essay, the final exam, or the annotated bib. And unfortunately for extra credit, you cannot submit it late. Okay. And then I'm now going to show you what the Week 7 Part 2 folder says. It just says that optional student conferences are held this week, as well as in person at any point during this Week 7. If you would like to reach out, feel free to do so. But what's in this folder is the following. It's a peer-reviewed journal for your analytical essay. There's no designated lecture slides for this section or folder. It just tells you when this is due, given that it's due on Sunday, May 10th, but the last day for the grading book to close would be Tuesday, May 12th at 4 p.m. It also tells you continuously the notes regarding the final exam. This will be changed to reflect that it will be open April 30th and that it is due, or that it will close May 10th at 11:59, and that the essay is due Monday, May 11th at 11:59 electronically. Okay. So this is the peer review journal. The peer review journal is going to ask you for the following. This is the only thing what's in the folder, okay? I'm going to open this up. It says the peer review journal says, as with any essay, the use of the writing process details outline, drafting, and peer review. As this is an online class, some type of peer review as a whole, group, or individual may help you improve your essay writing. Below are a few statements that I will ask you to fill out complete as you begin to draft or consider reflecting on what you've written so far in this essay. You do not have to upload a draft or attach it. This is simply your journal to help you with steps. The same steps would be given to you as if we were in person. So you are also completing this as a post, just like you would like a normal discussion board, but the good thing is you're not replying to anybody else. There is no need to reply to anyone else. Just adding your responses is sufficient. So remember, a draft or what you place in here, whether you're answering or not, is not the final copy. Okay, a draft copy can still be edited, revised, and corrected. It is not final until it is submitted. So here is a peer review checklist for your essay. Simply read the statements and reflect on the most recent draft of Essay 1. Here are the following ways to complete this journal. Option 1, you can copy and paste the entire section with all the questions and the numbers included and write your own answer with a yes or no format. or simply list the questions in number form and then write out yes or no. Okay, be sure one of these is done with the submission of this, so you are in some way answering these in a way that we can see them. And here are the questions for whatever draft that you have at whatever time you complete this. Remember, you're not uploading the draft, you're just simply answering questions about it. Is there a title? Is there an interesting hook? Overall from the introduction. Can I tell that this is an analytical essay? Am I analyzing a topic? Do you as a writer transition slowly from one paragraph to another? And then so forth. These are really great questions to ask and review yourself to answer the question, is your essay ready to be submitted or not? And if not, let's go back a couple of steps. It also asks you to start looking at and revising and often considering how your sentences sound and look like. Okay, and there's a couple of questions on here. And then this peer review journal will be due Sunday, May 10th. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this so that way you see it. And I'm going to show you what's in the week 8 folder so that way you have it. It says within this folder you will find the following. The module to submit your research paper and annotated bibliography. This is an essay that will be turned in as an electronic copy via Brightspace in this week 8 folder. I will not accept it as an email attachment or a web link. It will need to be submitted in this module form. The essay is due no later than Monday, May 11th at 11:59. You cannot use a late pass on this. Failure to not turn in by Tuesday, May 12th will result in a 0. Then it just tells you the rest of what has been copied and pasted in all the folders. So I have the submission module for both the analytical essay and the works cited page right here and the annotated bibliography. So let me just show you why I have it like that. So for some students, you may start off a document with your essay, and then the last page would be your works cited page. For others, you may include the annotated bibliography even after the works cited page as one whole document. That is perfectly fine. It just says right here within this module that this is where you're going to submit the essay and or the annotated bibliography. If you want to keep all the documents together and turn them in right here, that's fine. If you want to split them up, essay and works cited on this module and the annotated bib on the next module, you're more than welcome to. Make sure that it is accessible and viewable to me. If I cannot grade it, or if I cannot view it, I cannot grade it, and therefore you will not be able to receive anything. If you are having trouble uploading it, please reach out to me so that we can find another method for you to turn it in. Okay? At your convenience, its instructions are also found in the week 6 part 2 folder. And then it just tells you its due date, a little bit of reminders for you regarding the essay instructions so that way you have them before you even turn it in. Okay? There is a module on here so that way you can start uploading things. But if you have any problems, please reach out to me. I'm also going to open it up as if it was the annotated bibliography, just like I said before. If you are turning in the essay, works cited, and annobib together in that one module, you can do that. But if the annotated bib is just right here, you're more than welcome to do so as well. And then it just has the same due date as all the other things for the essay. Okay? And because the week 7 and week 8 folder are going to be opened up even early on, please review them and take your time with them. At any point, if you have questions, reach out to me.